So I got to recreate one of the greatest songs from one of the best soundtracks in gaming history for somebody's wedding. Now, in case you couldn't tell, I'm a gaming music nerd. I love playing video games, I love listening to and analyzing soundtracks from video games, and I love recreating soundtracks from video games. It's what I do. But it's not the only thing I do. I also play in a wedding band. And for pretty much my entire career, I've had almost zero chances to play video game music at gigs, especially weddings. It's just not what people expect at weddings. So I made this funny short on Instagram. It was me playing Canon in D, which is a typical wedding song, and blending it into the song Alicia by Lorien Testard. And to my shock, that video actually ended up getting a decent amount of views, got about 300,000 views, and I was like, wow, people are actually into it. So a couple of days after that, I received an email from this woman named Rachel.
She wrote, "Hi John, awesome job you're doing as a creator. I was wondering if you had a full version of your Expedition 33 Alicia theme that you posted to IG earlier this month. I would like to surprise my future husband with something exactly like this for our wedding."
This email obviously just got me very excited, not just because I love playing weddings, but because this was the perfect crossover, taking one of the best soundtracks in gaming and creating it for someone's most special moment. So I said yes immediately. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the entire process from learning the piece to layering the parts to the finished wedding version. From my experience playing in a wedding band, there's a couple of things that you need to take note of. The first thing is that the average walk down the aisle is about 1 to 2 minutes, and that's my target. Emotional, clear, and within that time frame. So I needed some clarity on some things, so I asked Rachel to kind of clear some things up for me. This way I could paint a better picture of what she wants. The first thing is, did she want me to blend Canon in D into Alicia? The other thing was, did she want just a piano arrangement, or did she want the strings as well? So she got back to me and she said this. So essentially, she was saying that she loves the string renditions, so I'm going to be incorporating that into the final song. Additionally, she mentions that the videographers work through the resort, so she's going to do the best she can to get me high quality video. I don't know, I'm just really fired up about it. I wish I could go there and play it in person, but it's in the Dominican Republic. So I will recreate the best possible version of Alicia that I possibly can. Hopefully I can give them something that they really just enjoy. So now I can go ahead and get to work. The first thing is going to be the piano. The piano is the driving factor for the song, and it starts with that really beautiful piano intro, so I don't want to skimp out on that. I want to make sure I actually learn that full piece, play it with the proper dynamics, and from there, you build the track upon that. Very, very important. All right, so we got the piano track laid down. It sounds really, really good. Next up is going to be the strings. So she said she loved the string rendition to it. So we're going to add some strings. We're going to add violin for the top section. We're going to add cellos for the mids, and we're going to add a bass. I think the best way to go about this is actually listening to the vocal arrangement in the actual song. This way we can match some of those elements and get it as close to the vocal line as possible. So essentially what we got is I'm going to be heading over to a string patch. I'm going to go to violin, and we're going to try to make it sound as flowy and as smooth as possible. We know it's in the key of A flat major, right? Okay, that sounds a little bright and a little too much attack on it. So we're actually going to lower the attack just a little bit so it sounds a little bit more smooth. And you can see if I raise the attack all the way up, you get that gradual swell. So we're going to find a nice middle ground for it. Going to change the release just a little bit too. Okay. Beautiful. All right. All right, so we got da 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 da. We're gonna layer that in our track. right, the string part is laid down. It sounds really, really good. I can't wait to mix it. Let's get into the next part of the song, which is going to be the midsection. It's going to be some cellos. So let's find a really good cello patch, and let's see how well we can spruce it up. That's nice. That's really nice. We might have to use that one. Okay, but that's violins, though. It doesn't sound like cello. That's nice. I like that a lot. All right, so we're going to use the Seattle cellos and we'll see how it sounds. So in the song, there's a little bit of some sort of chromatic ascension there. It's like you could subtly hear it in the background if you're listening for it. There's a certain note that goes from A flat and it goes up to A, up to B flat to B natural. And it's tucked away in there somewhere. I can't tell if it's the piano or if it's the strings, but regardless, it sounds really good. So what I want to do is I want to introduce the midsection kind of right at that point, so it starts creating some tension just before the chorus. A good example of what I want it to sound like is I'm going to show you right now. Right? Still just violin. So, and right here. A flat, ready? A. B flat. B natural. Oh my God, that's so good. All right, that's just a good way to bring in the cellos. So we're going to do that. That's just a phenomenal way to bring in the cellos. Let's do that. Let's lock that in. For a lot of these string parts, you don't need to be doing too much. There's each instrument and they play their own parts specifically, because with the string section, you have the freedom and you have the privilege of separating all the different voicings so they all have their own texture. And it creates separation. It creates a lot of room to breathe. Like, you don't need to be doing too much. Sometimes all you need to do is just one simple line, and that's what brings everything to life. So when I made this patch originally for Instagram, I have two scenes over here. I got scene 1 and scene 2. And scene 1 has this piano, right? But then scene 2 gets really, really crazy. It gets really, really loud. I started adding a bunch of strings all in one. You can see it's fully packed out. To play it together, it kind of accompanies itself. Like, it's like, sounds like the whole song. As soon as we start hitting that first note in the chorus, it sounds very like it hits you really, really hard. It like hits you like a brick wall, because you got that really low bass sound that's kind of pummeling through everything, and it's just sitting there. And you can see that we actually have this walking bass line. You got C to D, which is actually a B flat over a D, and then it goes up to E flat, A flat, to F, to C minor over E flat, sorry, C minor over E flat, to D, and then to G. So you have this walking bass line. With that walking bass line, the reason I bring that up is because that's actually exactly what I want to do for the bass part in this song. It creates a lot of movement, right? Especially you start with C minor, but then when you play a C minor over a B flat over a D, and then walk up to E flat, it just creates such a good, like, it's just so good. Oh my god, it sounds so good so far. All right, so altogether what we did is we just put together the piano, we put the violin, we put the cellos. I duplicated the cellos off camera just to give it a little bit more volume, just for mixing purposes. And then we have the bass. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix it, and I'm gonna send everything out to Rachel and Anthony.
Many months later.
What's up, guys? It is John from several months into the future. I spent way too long sitting on this video, but I'm excited to share it with you guys now. The last we left off, the song was being fully mastered and it's sent out to Rachel within that time frame. Rachel has received the song, they had their wedding, and I got the final video. So here's the one thing that's like kind of unfortunate is the videographers that were filming her wedding worked at the resort that she was doing her wedding at. So she didn't hire them personally, they were hired through the resort. They ended up using different audio than what was actually at the ceremony. It's just not the song that she actually walked down the aisle to, which was the song that I made for her. So I had to go into the video editing software. I clipped out the audio from the video they sent me and I put in my version of Alicia. This way I could paint a better picture of what it was like at the actual ceremony. So with just swapping out that audio real quick, we have the video and I'm going to show it to you guys right now. Enjoy. So thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you Rachel and Anthony for letting me use this video, and thank you so much for letting me make this song for you guys. This was probably one of the coolest projects I've ever done for a wedding, so make sure to show Anthony and Rachel your love down below, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.